Shri Dhankar ji, you lead from the front when it comes to advancing the rights of women. As ex officio chairman of the Rajya Sabha, you steered the discussions on the historic Women's Reservation Bill with great aplomb. I recall that you reconstituted the panel of vice chairpersons to make it an all-women group when the Rajya Sabha discussed the SHE-SHAKTI Vandan Vidhayak bill last year. Moreover, under your leadership, the 8-member panel of vice chairpersons of the Rajya Sabha now has equal representation from men and women. Your presence here causes us immense pride, and it gives us confidence that the hopes and aspirations of the women in India have the full support of the second highest office in the land. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Honorable Vice President Shri Jagdeep Dhankhar with a huge round of applause. Sir.
Thank you, Rahul. And now, may I please request our Honorable Vice President, Shri Jagdeep Dhankhar ji, to felicitate our women achievers. And may I please call on stage our distinguished guest, Padma Bhushan Usha Utthup ji, to be felicitated by the Vice President. Thank you very much. May I now call on stage our distinguished guest, Padma Shri Noof Marwai, to be felicitated by the Honorable Vice President. Thank you. May I please call on stage our distinguished guest, Avni Lekhara, to be felicitated by the Vice President. A big round of applause, ladies and gentlemen, for this super achiever. Thank you. Thank you very much. May I now request the Vice President to make his way to the podium for the keynote address.
Sri Rahul Joshi. Can I locate him here? Yes. He parted company too soon. हम तो बहुत लंबा रास्ता लेकर चल रहे थे. MD and Group Editor-in-Chief, Network 18. Acclaimed awardees. They inspire us. They motivate us. They have brought to the country laurels. The one from outside is also our cultural ambassador, recipient of our civilian award. Distinguished audience, but there are some male members also. Well, they are included. Media persons, well, this is something very difficult. I would say nothing at the moment. It might generate a controversy bigger than I can handle, because when you take to the path of truth, you earn friends who are not friendly to you. Am I right? I deem it, Rahulji, an absolute honor to be associated with the second season of News 18 SHE-SHAKTI. A privilege to share my thoughts on the holistic approach to women empowerment, an issue of huge contemporaneous relevance to human resource across the globe. I am not apologetic to address on this issue, merely because I am a male. I have been nurtured by my mother, my nani, my dadi. I have to repay their debt, and therefore I am qualified to make my contribution, humble contribution, on women empowerment. कहते हैं कि शुरुआत जब अच्छी होती है, शुभ लगन में होती है, शुभ मुहूर्त में होती है, तो नतीजे बहुत जल्दी आते हैं. The present is an illustration of it. A pleasant coincidence. News 18 SHE-SHAKTI launched in August 2023. And what happened the very next month? September 2023. Constitutional prescription for reservation of women to the extent of 1/3 in Lok Sabha and state legislatures. And what a gratifying moment. For 3 decades, our women, mothers and sisters waited patiently. Efforts were made. Either they were aborted or they were unsuccessful. But on September 28, 2023, the Honorable President of India, Srimati Draupadi Murmu, the first tribal woman to occupy that august high office in Bharat, home to 1/6 of humanity, she penned her signatures under Article 111, and it became a constitutional provision. What an accomplishment, what a coincidence. Friends, reservation in Lok Sabha and state legislatures to the extent of 1/3 is epochal development. It is bound to be game changer. On a global benchmark, It is the most revolutionary step ever taken on the planet to empower women. I pose a question to myself, who are we to empower women? They are repository of power. Power resides in you. It is just that you have discovered your power. It is not a gift of anyone. You have earned your due, I would say belatedly. But it has fructified at a time which is a moment to be ever cherished by me. I happened to be chairman Rajya Sabha when this was passed. But what will be the impact? Impact will be women in that number plus. This is minimum assurance. There will be more women. They will be part of policy making. They will be part of decision making. They will be part of governance. And they will be compulsively part of governance. I can imagine parliament with more than 1/3 women. It is going to be all order. No disruption, no disturbance. Debate, dialogue, discussion will take place. And they will bring on the table huge experience. They know firsthand how to nurture human resource. They have nurtured all males. Many of them nuisance in early childhood and thereafter. Some very truant. But they never gave up hope. Patiently they persecuted in their sublime activity. They nurtured us. And therefore, I am rightly speaking before you. I am repaying a debt. Friends, what is the meaning of democracy? Democracy does not mean one party comes to power. No. Democracy means there must be evolution of a mechanism that allows each of us to exploit our talent, realize our potential, fructify our dreams and aspirations. And that includes the most important component of humanity, 50% of humanity, the women. Presently, what I find all around in the nation and outside, there is a daunting scenario for those who are challenged, those who are vulnerable. And some people have the audacity to call women the weaker sex. They are terribly wrong. Power resides in you. Look at what has happened over the ages. Such a scenario has to change. The happy thing is, the fortunate development is, it is soothing to note that in recent years, affirmative governance, initiatives taken, policies made, they have facilitated this exploitation of talent. Democracy is defined by the mechanism it has, not for the rich, not for the privileged, not for the privileged pedigree, which of course is gone now. We don't have privileged pedigree. It has slipped of tongue by me. Privileged pedigree in this court, in this case, is non-existent. All are equal. But democracy is primarily meant for whom? It is meant for those who are vulnerable, those who are challenged, those who need hand-holding, so that their real talent, which is handicapped by challenges, is overcome. Friends, women empowerment will be boosted. By whom? By women. No one else. You don't need right to make a choice. Please make your choice. You don't wait someone to tell you to access opportunities. Access them. you control your funds, you be economically independent, and you have full control over your lives. The system could not be more affirmative than it is at the moment. In Vedas, we had women, great scholars. They dominated the scene. To name Gargi, Maitri, Visambhara, and Apala. And let me remind you, friends, in Vedic Kal, the prestige and dignity of women was at peak, but the decline took place. Thereafter, a son was desired, and birth of a daughter was viewed as a sign of sadness. Participation in political gatherings ceased. We had evolution of menacing trends like child marriage, sati system, dowry. So there was a time when men and women were equal. And that was about 1,000 and 1,500 years before Christ. They were on the same pedestal, contributing with the equality. Somewhere we lost the way. But gratifying. We are finding that way. We are getting into the right groove. Earnest efforts are being made to regain the past glory. Women reservation, as I said, in legislatures is one such step in the right direction. Undoubtedly, education, its availability, health care and economic independence, they are key to securing empowerment. Without these, you will only be hand-holding. You will develop parasitical tendencies. Empowerment means empowerment that they empower you. They exploit their own talent. They are not dependent, they are interdependent in a society. And I have no doubt in saying I am product of one, education. Education is the beginning point. If education shall be available, then the chains of inequality will be shattered. Rightly, it has been said by many. You educate a boy, you educate one. You educate a girl, you educate the entire family. And this is a ground reality. I have always believed and subscribed, and I'm sure no one will disagree. Education is the most impactful, transformative mechanism to bring about equality, to cut into inequities, to generate level playing field. This is being done massively, and the results are encouraging. But after much is being done, Beti Padhao is a great success. Our women are participating in every facet of governance. They are exemplifying dedication, commitment, and talent. But gender equality eludes them still. In any system, including the one that is before me, somehow or the other, the gender equality is eluding us. Gender discrimination has ostensibly vanished, but it has assumed subtle forms. Subtle forms which you can't fight, you can't describe. And that is the area where we have to hit the hardest. Subtle discrimination is far more dangerous than the overt one. Because overt one you can resist, but subtle discrimination, you have difficulty in resisting. I appeal to you to rise to the occasion. There has been a paradigm shift. I wouldn't say in last decade. They will take, it is a political development. But then that's what it is. Beti Padhao. Various policies, Mudra. Mudra has given women that kind of independence. They have become employers. They employ themselves and they employ others. A big change. And therefore, the paradigm shift has taken place from woman development to woman-led development. Except few males here, others would have rejoiced. The budget presented by the Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman, she created history as the first full woman Finance Minister of this nation, the largest democracy. And she had a record also, overtaking that of Morarji Desai. That's one example. At a global horizon, you will find women are making impactful presence. And when we talk of holistic empowerment of women, we are not talking of something new. Our Constitution has it. Our constitutional essence, spirit, encapsulates it. And what does our preamble ordain? Justice, liberty, and equality for all citizens. That is what we are discussing. We have to realize it. As a matter of fact, this is not new to India. Our civilizational ethos of thousands of years have it. Look around the globe. Bharat is a mine store of wisdom and knowledge on every facet. And that we are revealing to the world. And the world is benefiting enormously by that. Some male are present here. I find they are slightly subdued. But you will have to change your mindset. Come on, be a man. What does it mean? Don't be a girl. अरे कहाँ है? कौन सी दुनिया में हो? हालात बदल, उतने ही हालात बदल चुके हैं जितने हालात बदलते भी मैंने देखे हैं. I was elected to Parliament in 1989. I was a minister. तब मैंने क्या देखा? भारत की अर्थव्यवस्था लंदन शहर और पेरिस शहर से छोटी थी. चिड़िया, सोने की चिड़िया वाला देश. और हमारा सोना, राहुल जी, I am speaking to your MD. I should not be misunderstood. I should not at all be misunderstood. सोने की चिड़िया कहलाने वाले देश का फॉरेन एक्सचेंज वो dwindling between $1 billion and $2 billion. Your editor-in-chief today had the occasion to interview the finance minister, am I right? And now it is over 680 billion. But it was placed to two banks in physical form. मैंने क्या देखा जब कश्मीर गया मंत्री की हैसियत से? सेंटोर होटल में रुके थे डल लेक के कोने पर. 20-30 लोग भी नहीं दिख रहे थे. And now official record, more than 2 crore tourists visited Jammu and Kashmir last year. What I meant to say कि आपको माइंडसेट बदलने में क्या लगता है जब भारत इतना बदल चुका है? We have traversed a journey against headwinds difficult terrain negotiated, getting slot from fragile 5 to big 5 economies on way to becoming third largest global economy in 2 years. What stopped you from changing your mindset? When per capita digital consumption of an Indian is more than that of China and US taken together. There was a time when a Prime Minister lamented, I'm not criticizing him, good friend of mine, but he lamented कि दिल्ली से पैसा भेजता हूं पता नहीं कहां लीकेज हो जाता है 15 पैसे पहुंचता है अब क्या हो गया है अब कमाल हो गया है सीधा अकाउंट में पहुंचता है नो ह्यूमन इंटरफेस नो मिडलमैन नो लाइजन एजेंट and there was a time when our power corridors were infested with corrupt elements. You could not have a contract opportunity without bringing them in picture. Power corridors have been sanitized. Our mindset badaliye. I appeal to my male community. Let us repay the debt to our mothers and sisters and grandmothers and nannies. And look at the another change which has taken place. था एक जमाना, people entertained the idea. What can law do to us? They forgot, be you ever so high, the law is above you. They said, no, some crazy person said so, it is not the reality in India. But now you must have seen ground reality is there. All are equal before law. All are accountable. All are within the reach of stranglehold of law. And not only that, the law is in fact befriending them. It is happening. When so much is happening for the better, I appeal to the male society, please change your mindset before it is too late. Gender sanitization and sensitization, both I say. Sanitization, I refer to males. Or sensitization, I want to see that our girls and women get into the right frame. It is of paramount importance. Friends, we must be firmly dismissive and contemptuous of insane thoughts of the kind that belittle barbarity of rape and murder of a female doctor in Kolkata while in hospital on duty. And someone calls it a symptomatic malaise. What a shame! We are accountable to our conscience, our heart should bleed. This is an issue for atonement, to get into correctional mode. We cannot suffer, and therefore I come to another aspect. Again, Rahulji, the editor. In our country, we have given iconic status to people, elevated to them great heights in all fields, including journalism. For what? They are good at event management. They manage their affairs well. They become great because we are not vigilant. Then they become our guides. Then they go to the extent of saying, oh, what happened in Bangladesh can happen here. I tell you, mindset change is required not only for gender justice. Mindset is required also for our commitment to nationalism. We cannot allow people day in and day out to overlook national interest for selfish and partisan interests. We in this country have to understand we are a civilization more than 5,000 years old, deeply embedded in virtuosity, sublimity. It is our first duty to secure gender justice, and that is part of our nationalism. We must nurture it as much as we can. Let me tell you, which my male friends have ignored. Did you have the occasion to see a spectacular Republic Day parade on Kartavya Path in 2024 January? We were absent, sir, my male friends. They were there in full bloom, in combat positions, in cultural positions. आज की नारी थल, जल, आकाश और अंतरिक्ष ने धूम मचा रखी है. When I went to ISRO to compliment the team for Chandrayaan 3 success, वहां भी शिव शक्ति पॉइंट है, ज्यादा फर्क नहीं है, तिरंगा पॉइंट है. Suddenly, I have all-woman contingent led by the rocket woman. Our science institutions are headed by them. They have sterling qualities, enormous capacity to contribute. I appeal to our sisters, please address the challenges, smash the glass ceiling that comes in the way of your advancement. And let me tell you, the glass is brittle. You only have to take the lead. India is structured democracy, and no one in the world has that democracy. India has constitutionally structured democracy at the village level, at the taluka level, at the district level, apart from at the state and central level. And therein you will be surprised to learn, at the moment, 1.4 million women are elected to Panchayat Raj institutions. 1.4 million. Many countries don't have even that much population. Many of them. And therefore, I would urge empowerment in general and women empowerment in particular is the premise on which we will sustain our economic upsurge, unprecedented exponential infrastructural rise. When we are taken today as a global leader, the image of our nation is very different. When our nation speaks through the Prime Minister, the voice is heard because that voice matters. Therefore, if we change our mindset, we are not losers. ये तो पूरा फायदा ही फायदा है. ये फायदे का काम करो. इसकी शुरुआत यहाँ से हो रही है. Second season, the first season, and Parliament was shaken and we had reservation. Second season, things are improving. ये सीजन जब बढ़ता जाएगा, इसकी व्यूवरशिप भी बढ़ती जाएगी, रेलेवेंसी बढ़ती जाएगी, and the results will be incremental and geometric, I have no doubt about it. I appeal to all. Now this is addressed to all, not to a particular gender. In our country, we need to have positive approach. We need to get away from negativism. We must not yield to sensationalism, because that's the easiest way. I look on occasions the same story going on all these channels, and each channel claiming we are the first one. And they say we are breaking the story. And they say it is exclusive to us. What do I do? You are doing something which was known much before. We are living in tough times. Most closely guarded secrets are open secrets on the street. People just don't talk about it. If we don't believe in our nationalism, the heart of Indian mind is hurt. Our sentiments are crushed. If you do it outside, fraternize with those who have inimical ideas about this nation, our heart bleeds, not for their stance, but for their ignorance. Let us enlighten them. Another aspect, only 2 points to be made, Rahulji. Only 2 points to be made. Very brief ones. Be wary of self-serving individuals. They will become champions of your cause. There will be much growth of institutions, mushroom growth. They will come with innovative ideas. And we will never ask them tough questions. I personally feel Indian woman does not require hand-holding to secure her rights. She can do it very well. We have to provide only structured mechanism of education, health care, economic independence, and enhance the basket of opportunities for them. And therefore, my appeal to my sisters, overcome all barriers, visible and invisible. Invisible ones are more dangerous because they have ill intent, malafide approach. They wish to monetize in the name of helping you. Therefore, deal with them tough. Discriminatory treatment, even if subtle. And it will be often, in times you will find subtle discrimination. Rebuff it spiritedly. Don't allow the snowball without the ball being sent outside the stadium. Once you do it, others will not have to do it. You would have played for your entire sector. So don't hesitate. Time to effect change you need. You have to bring about that change. You have to aspire for change rather than seek change. You are not a passenger in the vehicle, you are at the driver's seat and therefore you steer it. I commend this initiative of News 18, SHE-SHAKTI. I wish it a great success and I have no doubt, I am confident, I am optimistic. It's a great service to humanity because awareness about gender justice will get incremental trajectory. Thank you so much. And thank you for your patience. Namaskar.
Thank you, Honorable Vice President. You've given us the new mantra today, change the mindset. Thank you for inspiring us and for your words of wisdom. And I'm going to request all of you to please rise for the national anthem one more time.
Jana Gana Mana Adhinayaka Jaya He Bharata Bhagya Vidhata Punjab Sindh Gujarat Maratha Dravida Utkala Vanga Vindhya Himachala Yamuna Ganga Uchchala Jaladhi Taranga तव शुभ नामे जागे तव शुभ आशीष मांगे गाहे तव जय गाथा जन गण मंगलदायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता जय हे जय हे जय हे जय 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 हे
Thank you. Thank you, Honorable Vice President Shri Jagdeep Dhankhar ji. Thank you very much.